What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cjthecheesedj here, and we are back with another top 10, and today we are taking a look at the top 10 slowest creatures in the entirety of Ark. Now, this list surprisingly does not comprise of any flyers. Pretty much how we went about doing this list was we pretty much looked at all the dinos' base movement speeds, their base sprinting speeds, and then we compiled a list based on that information. Now, unfortunately, many of you are probably thinking, well, the Quetz is one heck slow mother beeper. Why isn't he on this list? Well, because he actually was able to outfly many of the land-based dinosaurs that you will see on this list. So don't crucify me just yet, just watch the video and let me know what you guys think of it at the end. So let's jump in straight away at number 10. Now guys, one thing that we didn't forget to mention is that we are basing this list purely off dinosaurs that you can mount / ride. So any dinosaurs that you can put saddles on, we're not including like the Dodo, the Dillo, all those sort of guys, we're just including the ridden dinosaurs, guys. So do take that into mind as well throughout the video, and don't get too hatey at me when you think that the Dodo is a lot slower than all these other creatures, because the truth is, he is. But you can't go around riding a gigantic Dodo. Now, coming in at number 10, we have the Parasol. The Parasol has a base sprinting speed of 458, and he comes in at number 10 on this list because, well, he's got the fastest out of the 10 dinosaurs that we managed to pick. Now, this guy's speed does increase slightly in water, however, that wasn't enough to put him any higher or any lower. So, he is our Kickstarter at number 10. Now, this is going to be a pretty short video because I don't really have much to say else on these guys. It's a video on their movement speed, guys. I don't know what else you want me to say, and I don't want to waste your time. But you can see here, he is pretty slow to begin with. Like, that is his sprinting speed. There are a lot of other things that can outrun this guy, and you will find out that the ones further on this list won't be able to outrun this guy. So, let's continue on the list. Now, the creature coming in at number 9 is the Castoritis, otherwise known as the Giant Beaver. This guy has a base movement speed of 432, which means he's only about 15 points lower than the Parasol, which is surprisingly different because it feels like he moves faster than the Parasol, when in reality he actually doesn't. I have tested this out, guys, and he does not move faster than the Parasol, which is honestly really surprising. However, the added benefit of the Castoritis is that you can obviously gather while running, whereas the Parasol, he doesn't do much of gathering. He doesn't do much of anything, really, except alerting you when enemies are nearby. So the Castoritis comes in at number 9 on this list, and, well, there's not really much else to say. Now, in the water, his movement speed does increase exponentially. He's actually faster in the water than he is on land, so there is that to take into consideration as well. However, his movement speed still isn't a big factor in where we placed him, because, well, his movement speed in the water is not what we're looking at today. We're looking at land. A lot of the sea-based creatures actually move really fast. They were fast enough to not make it on this list, for example. So the Megalodon had a base movement speed of 500. So he was borderlining being on the list, but the Castoritis comes in at number 9. At number 8, we have none other than your friendly neighborhood stinger, the Scorpion. This guy comes in at number 8 because he's got the base movement speed of 420. That's only 12 points lower than the Castoritis. So he actually moves slower than the Castoritis. It does look like he moves faster, however that is not the case. I can guarantee you guys I have tested this out. Now, one thing about the Scorpion that he is relatively decent about is that he can pivot on the spot. You can see there, we are able to fully rotate 360 degrees, as well as that he does have the ability to climb up small rocks, which can help maneuver through the mountain regions, I guess you could say. It's not really a big deal breaker on a Ragnarok, however on the island where the mountains are very abundant and there are a lot of them, and they are very high, the Scorpion is good for that because he can easily maneuver around the rocks and everything like that. The only thing I wish they did have on him was the ability to move like the Gigantopithecus, where he could like walk and turn, because he's got the 6 legs, but he doesn't really utilize it all that much. So the Scorpion comes in at number 8. Now, at number 7, with a base movement speed of 405, we have the Bronto, the Gargantuan. That's right, the Bronto is not the slowest creature in Ark, which is, I honestly found that pretty surprising. Like, these guys can move decently, but I would have thought they would have been slower, to be honest. So their base movement speed is 405, and there are creatures on this list that are obviously lower than that, which means the Bronto is not the slowest creature. Now, the added ability that we kind of factored into this is that the Bronto can pretty much just plow through everything in his path. The only thing he can't plow through are giant boulders. But other than that, he is able to walk over them and stuff, so that does help his case a little bit more. And you can see here, he is large, so his strides are really big as well, which obviously helps him maintain that higher movement speed. So the Bronto is number 7 on this list. Now, coming in at number 6, we have the Arthropleura, the buggy, creepy looking dude that can destroy metal. Yep, the bug dude. He's in at number 6 with a base movement speed of 394. Now, that is pretty fast, but it is not faster than the Bronto. So the Bronto actually moves faster than this slithery, sluthery slug. Now, it's great because he's also got his secondary attack, which is okay for raiding. I mean, it's amazing for raiding, who am I kidding? But the best part about this guy is, well, he can pretty much just wriggle around everything. Now, he can, like I said, wriggle around everything. Put it into more technical terms. He can go over boulders with ease. You can see there we're able to scale that boulder really easily. And his turning radius is decent as well. But he also has the ability to scale boulders relatively easy. Well, this is awkward. Now, at number 5, we have the Mammoth. This guy is really slow. Like, it's pretty obvious because he's big, but, you know, the Bronto's still, not decently, but okay fast. The Mammoth, he's just a sloth. You would think the Megatherium would be making an appearance on this list, but no, that's not the case. Now, you can obviously bump all these guys' movement speed up, but the Mammoth has a base movement speed of 360. So that is slower than the Bronto, that's slower than the Arthropleura, slower than all the other creatures on this list. It does feel like sometimes that he is able to move faster. That's just the trick of your mind playing. Trust me, these guys are slow. The only added benefit is obviously that they can sprint. You can buff all your movement speed guys on these guys to make them go faster. But yeah, there's nothing really else to say about the Mammoth. He can gather wood. Yippee. Now, coming in at number 4, I was really considering not putting this guy on the list because, well, I've never seen people use Aranios before, but here he is. Number 4 on the list is the Aranio, otherwise known as the Spider. This guy has a base movement speed of 320. Does feel like he can move faster than the Mammoth and everything? That's not the case. I gotta keep telling you guys. Their size factors into it all and everything like that. So the Aranio has a base movement speed of 320. He can shoot web out of his butt like other spiders. He can do that. He can do this. That's all there really is to say about this guy. He's not really all that great about walking up rocks and stuff. He can walk and pivot on the point like the Scorpion since he's got 6 legs. 8 legs? 8 legs? Yep. I know my spiders. Since he's got 8 legs, he can actually walk over rocks pretty easily and still pivot on the point really easily. Obviously, that makes sense. So, yeah, there's nothing really else to say about the Aranio except that they're horrible, don't bother taming them up, blah blah blah. But the Aranio comes in at number 4 on this list. Now, number 3 on the list is the Dodicarus. Now, the Dodicarus has a base movement speed of 244. And in hindsight, he's fast, he's slower than the creature that is next. Now, the reason he is in number 3 is because he has the ability to roll. Now, his ability to roll actually makes him move a little bit faster, which obviously helps him get around and everything, considering he's a pretty slow guy. Now, as well as that, these guys can also move pretty fast in water, which definitely helps as well. But other than that, there's nothing really else to say about these guys except that they are higher than the contestant number 2 because of their ability to roll. But other than that, these guys are one of the slowest creatures in all of Ark, in terms of creatures that you can ride. Now, coming in at number 2, we have the Anki. Now, this guy is technically faster than the Dodicarus. However, the Dodicarus's roll ability makes him higher on this list. This guy does have he's got a 280 movement speed, so he is higher than the Dodicarus. But like I said, he doesn't have the ability to roll, he just runs really slowly. Granted, these guys are great for harvesting metal, that's all they're really useful for, and flint obviously. These guys are definitely not something you want to run around with and explore Ark with. Now, finally, coming in at number 1, you guys should have seen this coming. We have the turtle, otherwise known as the Carbonymus. And to be honest with you, I could not think of a better dinosaur suited to the number 1 position. This guy has a base movement speed of 220. And by golly gosh, does it make sense for the turtle to be number 1. Look how slow he is. Turtles are naturally slow, so like this makes perfect sense. But the Carbonymus comes in at number 1 on this list. He's a slight bit faster in the water, however on land he is the slothiest of sloths. He is a sloth on land. In water he just does improve a tad bit, but not like an exceedingly large amount. It is faster to move this guy through the ocean, and it's heckin' adorable and funny as to watch this guy swim through the ocean, but you definitely want to try keeping him to the land because he'll just get shredded by everything in the ocean. So guys, that'll conclude today's list. Let me know what you thought of the top 10 slowest creatures that we compiled. Let me know if you guys would have changed any of them. I went purely on their base movement speeds and then changed some around based on how I thought they moved and everything like that. So be sure to let me know what you guys think of it down below in the comments. But as per usual guys, thanks very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to check out our top 10 playlist, which should play at the end of this video. But other than that, I hope to catch you in the next one.